Hi ladies, the last of our projects for the exclusive class is this cute little treat bag that you can go ahead and fill to give to a family member, a friend, or just have like on a table as a favor during the holiday season. You may have seen the Halloween one that I put together. Now the difference between this one and the Christmas one is that this paper over here is only 6x6 paper, and so you can see two seams on here as opposed to the holiday one where there is only one seam that is actually near the back of it. So this is like a little bit different. It's still okay, but you definitely can't see this one, so maybe not something that you want to have on your project. So it's always probably better to use a 12-inch strip for this one. Okay, so I've got some pieces here. I have the 12-inch strip. I'm just going to kind of put that off to the side so you can see what it looks like. Okay, just want to make sure it's like sitting there just out of the camera. There we go. So this is a 12-inch by 3-inch piece of designer series paper. And then I have a piece of Pool Party that is 4 inches this way by 3.5 inches this way. I have already gone and scored it at 1/2 inch on all sides. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold it. And I do want to burnish it down as well, just to make sure I have some nice crisp folds, because this will form the base to our bag. Okay, all right. So once I have this, I'm gonna go ahead and, looking for my small scissors, I don't see them, so we're gonna go with the big ones. You're just gonna go ahead and you're gonna cut in on those little lines right there. You do not wanna cut off that entire corner because these are just tabs in your basket. Okay, so I've got those. I'm actually going to cut off just a little bit here as well, because I always find then you're not worried quite so much about little edges sticking up. It just makes it a little bit easier to close. Okay, all right. Come on, and one more little piece. Okay, there we go. All right, so I think I've got them all off. Okay, so I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal Plus. This is the stuff that's a little bit stronger. And I'm going to use this to hold my bottom of my bag together. This is how you also create bases for card boxes, and even lids for card boxes as well. Okay, so I'm just going to take this now, I'm going to fold it in, and I'm going to glue it so that those edges match. Do the same on this side. A little bit of adhesive folded over the edge. I'm going to turn and glue that just so that's like that one as well. Okay, and repeat on this side. If it's not perfect, not a big deal, because you're not going to see it. It's going to be on the inside. Okay, so you have this cute little base. All right. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of the tear and tape adhesive and I'm going to run it around the entire bottom of the box, because this is where your paper is going to stick. Okay. Just push that down so that it's all the way onto that paper. Now, same thing with this. You are not going to see this, so it is not a big deal if it's a little bit uneven and kind of askew. All right, I'm going to just tear that off. Okay. All right, so I'm going to peel off this one piece here. Just going to start one of the edges. And we're going to start to peel it. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna only do one edge at a time because I wanna make sure that it is actually sticking exactly where I want it. So I'm gonna take this paper, I'm gonna just put this right to the very bottom of that box shape and stick it down. And then I'm gonna go and pull a little bit more tape off. I don't like to do the whole thing all the way around because that's when I find I end up getting things stuck where they're not supposed to be stuck. You will note there is no seams in here. I've not gone and scored anything, and that is deliberate because of the style of the box. Okay, and then I'm going to take this all the way around this last one as well. Okay, just make sure it's stuck in all directions. Okay, now as you can see I have this extra piece here, so I do want to use a piece of adhesive. You could certainly use your Stampin' Seal Plus for this, but I'm gonna go with this because I want this right at the edge. So I'm using my tear and tape adhesive again, something that everybody should have in their adhesive toolbox. It's like the old red line tape. Anybody who's been creating for a while knows what that is. Okay, All right, so I'm just gonna match that up there, and then I'm gonna turn around and match it to the top of the bag. So now I have my bag. Okay, I'm going to run another layer around the bottom. I'm gonna start at the back again, because this is where the ribbon is gonna go, because you can see there's like a layer of ribbon that comes all the way around the bottom. It just might kind of makes it a little bit pretty. And I like things that are pretty. Got a little bit of gold in there, which you can also see in the ribbon right over here. All right, and just a little bit more. Okay, and the same thing, we're gonna just, instead of tearing it, I'm just gonna cut this one because I've got tape all over my hands. Okay, so I'm gonna peel this one off yet again. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start putting ribbon on. Okay, come on. Come on. I cut my fingernails off yesterday. My fingers, like my nails are absolutely atrocious at this point because I keep ripping them at work. Okay, so same thing. Just start very close to the edge. You do want it right down at the bottom. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on so that it comes right to the bottom. I'm gonna peel another corner yet again and bring this all the way across the bottom there. Peel yet another one. I'm gonna bring this all the way across the bottom just like that. And I used the wrong ribbon. Whoops. I have two that are cut here, one that's longer than the other. All right, wait, let me just make sure. This is the 11.5, okay. All right, let's try that again. So we're gonna peel, okay. Okay, there we go. It was a long day at work today. It's been really busy. People are doing their Christmas shopping, which is good because we are truly seeing supply issues at this point. And you wouldn't think it. You would think it would be too early. It is not too early. Okay, so I have this little extra little piece here. I am just gonna go ahead and cut this off on a little bit of an angle. And then I'm just gonna make sure that that is stuck. All right, I think we'll add just a little bit of extra adhesive back there. Oh, this is what happens sometimes when you try and do it the slightly easy way. And it does look like I didn't quite hit the right length of ribbon. The way the measurements go on the box, 11.5 should be enough, and I think it was, but I think when I make the next one, I might go up to 12 inches, and on the instructions, it will have 12 inches too. Okay. Yeah, I will go back and fix this after. Okay. All right, either way, you have the base, you've got the base of your box, your little container here, okay? So I do have over here another piece of ribbon. This cardstock here, this is 8.5 by 3/4 of an inch. So I'm actually gonna take this, I'm gonna just put more adhesive down the center because I want this ribbon to stick. I don't want it to go anywhere. So I'm gonna run this right down the center. I'm gonna stick the ribbon on, and then I'm gonna wrap it around the back. Because as I say, I like it when my things are straight. I'm a little bit of a stickler for that. It really makes me nuts when things are not. And that's a Wendy thing. Okay, so I have that on there. And I'm gonna go ahead, add a little bit of adhesive here to the back so that the ribbon can stick to that as well. I'm just gonna fold that over. Okay, and I'll cut off that little extra little piece. Those little, not really twigs, but those little strands. Okay, and then this one as well. Okay, good. All right, so I've got those. So this is gonna be my handle. Okay, now I do need one of the small hole punches. We don't sell these anymore, unfortunately, but I am gonna punch a small hole in here on this side, and I'm gonna punch another small hole in on the other end. Okay. All right, so now I have two small holes here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put in two small holes on this as well. And I am eyeballing it tonight. You can totally go ahead and match it up using a ruler and everything else. I'm just, for the sake of doing this today, I am just eyeballing. Okay, so there we go. I am also going to pop open the round and square brads. We have these in the catalog for the purpose really of making the fantastic give it a whirl cards. However, I find these are perfect for this as well. Okay, so I'm going to put one in there. I'm using the large squares. There are 4 different sizes. I should say there are 4 different kinds of brads. There are large squares in black and white, and then there are small circles, and they're quite small. Almost, they're not bigger than, I mean, they're certainly bigger than pin dots, but they're not very big. And you've got those in the white and the black as well. Okay, so I want my guy to be even. So I'm just going to open these up. All right, so now you've got your little bag. Okay, so I mean, I can go ahead and I can just put that little guy in there so you can see that it fits just nicely. All right, so the last thing I need to do is on the 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp this in Old Olive. I have a little piece of white paper here. Where did it go? There it is right here. Okay, so I have, oh, let's get all the fuzz out of the way. You don't want any fiber stuck to my project. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp the sentiment. This comes from Holly Jolly Wishes, which is a fantastic, fantastic little sentiment set. We use that set as part of our Merry and Bright this year. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this down. All right. Oh, yeah, that's okay. And then I'm going to, oh, I didn't want to close this right away. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to punch it out. So I'm using a 2.5 inch circle punch. We do not have these in the catalog anymore, but it's certainly fast and easier than going ahead and using a die cutting machine. All right, so I have the 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly, but you can see there's just the edge of a little bit of green there. So you can't really play with the edges on the foam pads the way you could on the linen ones, but I'm still just kind of running this along the edge. And when I do this, you can see from your angle that I'm tilting it slightly, because tilting it allows me to get some on here. If I just went just like this, you would see a little bit on the edge, but very little. So I'm just kind of tilting it as I roll it, just to get that ink and make sure that ink is like right on that piece. Okay, so it just gives you a little bit of something extra, so you don't have to go and frame it with another piece of cardstock because it's now framed with the ink. All right, so, okay, I have a piece of Bumblebee that I cut with one of the dies from the Frightfully Cute die set, or I guess it'd be Frightful Wishes. Frightful Wishes? Frightful Tags dies. Frightfully Cute was the Sam set that goes with this. So I have that here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut a slight little bit of ribbon. Oh, where is my gold ribbon? Oh, there's my gold ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to, it's on the floor. We're using it, I'm using it in another project, so I've got it just sitting here ready to go in my mass of things that are sort of half finished and sort of not. Okay, so I'm going to cut off that edge there, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut off the other one just on this edge, so I'm just notching it. Whoops. Okay, just notching it slightly. There we go. And where'd my gold ribbon go? So this is the gold shimmer ribbon, which is really, really pretty. And I just want to go ahead and cut another piece that is similar in size. I think I've got it a little bit longer than this one. And I think I'm going to actually cut this one down just a little bit. It may just be a little too long for what I'm trying to do. Okay, so just cut that a bit more. There we go. So that'll go on like that. This will go on like that. And then this will go on top. Excellent. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive there. I'm going to take off that piece of cherry cobbler ribbon. And then I'm going to stick this down a little bit north of the center, as I would like to say, so a little above the center. I'm going to put this guy just underneath. A little bit more to the side over this way. Okay, that's pretty good. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just pop this up with a couple of dimensionals. There's one, and there's two. Oh, got it just a little too close to the edge, I think. See, I still have the fiber sitting on my finger. It is stuck. Okay, I'm just going to glue that on. Make sure it's centered. Okay, excellent. And then the last thing I will do is just put a couple of dimensionals on the back. There's one. And now that I think about it, I don't want it near the top, because if they're near the top, it's going to stick over the edge. So I want them near the sides. One there and one there. Peel those off. And then I'm just going to stick that on just like this. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, so now I have that one finished. So you can see they're really not that hard to do. Just remember to cut that a little bit longer. So really not that hard to do, and really not that time consuming either. The worst part, honestly, is wrapping these around and making sure that this is cut, the base is cut, scored, and put together. Once you have that ribbon on there, or once you've got that paper on there, the rest of it is just really embellishing. So you can change it up and do whatever you would like with it. And then where's my little bag of pretzels? A little bag of pretzels that's been following me around ever since Halloween, which I have not eaten yet. I've been very good, but these fit in here really, really, really easily. They just tuck right in there like that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know.